Hi everyone, welcome to another stream, kind of on a weekly schedule. So the current plan is to do these Tuesdays between kind of 6 and 11 p.m. EST. It's kind of a rough estimate. So if you want to catch me live and maybe interact or ask any questions or anything, hit subscribe and then it lets you know whenever I've gone live. Or you can just plan a drop round that time. So yeah, let's go ahead and pick up where we left off. So as you can see, we got the link below if you want to follow along with the code that we're going to be working on tonight. And last week, so this stream is titled, the title for tonight's stream is PDDL API continued. Last week we were working on the PDDL API. We ran into kind of a conceptual issue where we realized that a lot of the state information that kind of has absolute values, things like AC, EV, SH, strength, int, dex, those, there's not like a clear, obvious way to turn those into a qualitative symbol. For example, our health and magic points and other things we can model as, low, medium, medium low, medium high, high, and then max. And so we can do a little calculation. We can basically bin it into symbols. That's good if you have relative things kind of between 0 and 100. There really isn't any relative thing for strength. So, is your strength ever going to be 0? Is there a max? And then your decision making based on that. So because there isn't a clear qualitative kind of way to encode that in PDDL, I wasn't sure what we wanted to do. We could try, one option is to go look and try and get a different planner. The planner we've been using right now is Fast Downward, which just happened to be a planner that I had some experience with, and I figured I'd try and get up and running. But it doesn't handle numeric aspects, so we can't just have integers. And there are planners that do support PDDL and do support integers, but then that's kind of an extra integration we have to get set up. And I haven't worked with one of those immediately, so I have to go kind of set that up, and that would take some time. And the main goal we want to work on right now is getting the API, I think, to support more functionality. So with that being said, what I'm planning to do for tonight is to go ahead and just continue with what we were planning before, using the Fast Downward planner, sticking with that, and any information that we can't encode easily into like a symbolic, basically a symbol, we're just going to avoid. And so the result is that we're going to have a planning system that's not going to have full state information. It's not going to have all the information that's in the vector-based system that's available from the vector-based parts of the API. And so we're just going to have to live with it. I think that it's not going to matter too much because we're still going to get a lot of the good functionality to test an agent. So we're going to be able to go to multiple levels. We're going to be able to pick up items and put on equipment and all of this stuff. Being able to take all of the actions and sense the environment are going to be there and going to be possible. Now, to make really good decisions, we would like to think about things like the numbers for a lot of the state information, like strength, intelligence, dexterity. If we don't have the information, how are we going to decide, for example, which one we want to level up? We just won't be able to do that. But still, there'll be able to be a lot of features. I wouldn't be surprised if we could get an agent that could do fairly well without even considering any of that. So, and then in doing so, we'd have an agent that could play the game longer. We'd have a more robust fast downward planning agent that will kind of add to the baseline agents we can offer with the API. And once we reach a good point with that, we'll switch over to a PDDL planner that can handle more numeric planning and stuff. So with all of that being said, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up from last time where we had I basically had paused the goal of the video last time, and we went ahead and solved an issue on GitHub where we had, if I pull this up, go to issues. So we haven't closed it yet, but the agent, we didn't have anything in the WebSockets interface or the logic for handling the connection to give the agent of choice of choosing strength, dex, or int when it leveled up. And this is important because if we don't solve this, we can't have an agent get past level 3. And because every 3 levels in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, you get to pick an attribute to increase. And so we need this menu option to be able to get agents that can go farther into the game, and then we can kind of discover more parts of the API. Because that's part of how we're developing this. We're kind of getting agents that can explore the game to find more things that we haven't been implemented and then implemented as we go. So it's kind of a fun experience. And we had implemented a solution to this in the last stream, but we still needed to test it. And so that's where we're picking up off today. So we're going to test that, see if that works, close out that issue, hopefully, and then we're going to move on and start implementing some of the fast downward PDDL, fast downward PDDL API support. So, and if you have any comments or suggestions or feedback or questions, post here, post in the Gitter. The Gitter is an online public forum. And let's go ahead and get started. So we commented here last time that we have a first draft of the solution. And we're going, so I'm just going to, review that, jog my memory. It's been a week, and boy, just a week feels like a long time, especially when you're coming back to code. It's really nice to be able to work on code every day, or at least every other day. Having to go a long time with code, even if you're the one who wrote it or you're seeing code for the first time, there's a whole bunch of context you have to kind of reabsorb a lot of time, or at least if you're like me. Maybe some people are faster. So what were we working on last time? So if we go to the Audubon game connection code and right, I'll go back to the agent here. Looks like he's stuck for some reason, but that's fine. So we added some code. Few things we did, right? In menu.py, we added this attribute increase text menu. So it's not a menu like the other menus. It doesn't pop up in the game. It'll just show up down here in the bottom left where the text is, but it'll be a choice, and then you have to type S, D, or I, depending on what you want to increase. So we added a menu thing here. We added code here to detect if we were in this menu, and also in action, I know I'm jumping around here a little bit, but so in action, did we implement that? Yes. So we added this menus to choices because when you're not in a menu, there's a bunch of actions you can take. But if you're in a menu, the action space is different, especially the mapping from keyboard data that's sent and what that does. So we basically started to do a mapping here. We just have one menu supported so far. We'll add more. I expect we'll add more. But right now we're basically saying if we're in this increased text menu, then there's 3 choices. We can send an uppercase S, an uppercase I, or an uppercase D as a menu choice. Menu choices are defined up here in enumeration. And then that'll get sent by the basically the Audubon game connection. So and we wrote some code to detect if we're in that menu. Check for attribute increase. So we just check to see if this text appears in the chat, and then we know we're in that menu. And if we are in that menu, then we set that to be true. We're in this menu. And then we set the options here. And then we do this. So now there is another place we use this, which is basically we say if we're in this situation where we're in this menu, then we're just going to ask the agent to get the next action. And so they're going to have to know. And so one thing I wanted to make sure is that, so the game state does support setting the menu that we're in. And we need to make sure that that's being sent here. So let's back up. Okay, well that's not working. So okay, if we click, so there should be another. So I know we were doing it before. Where is this being used? So what I'm looking for is, I know that somewhere we are telling the game state what the current menu is. Okay, we're doing that at the end of, I found it here. So if we go here, so basically at the end of onMessage, which is a function that this Autobahn is kind of, basically every time we get a message from the game, we're going to, perform all these state checks. First, we're going to update the game state, then we're going to perform state checks, and then we're going to set the current menu. So what that means is that up here in the logic where we're asking the agent for its next action, the agent already knows what the menu is. So it's up to the agent to know that it's in a menu and then it needs to make that choice, which I think is fair. So if we go to our fast downward planning agent, I think last time we added some code that said if we were in this menu, we're going to choose one of those actions. So first, we have this thing, available menu choices equals get possible actions for current menu. So it's saying if we have some available menu choices, we're going to just kind of randomly pick one. Let's check this function. Okay, so we wrote this function last time. Okay, so let's just go ahead and print out available menu choices. Awesome. So we can see what's happening, and let's go ahead and restart the agent. And I think it's set up where it will end the game and start a fresh game. And so the reason we were waiting, the reason I didn't test it last time was partly just due to time, in that so we're in a new level, got a new character and everything. The reason I didn't want to test last time is the only way we're going to be able to test this is for an agent that gets to level 3. And something's being funny here. Okay, I'm going to see what's happening. It's choosing a goal to be at the cell that it's in. I wonder why that's the case. Let's just run it again. So it's abandoning the game, starting a new one. Okay. Oh, it's trying to attack monsters. Okay, well. Yeah, it's trying to attack monsters. Let's see. Maybe the Minotaur. If it survives, it'll definitely get to level 3. Oh my god, is that an electric eel? No way. Oh, wow. Oh no, it's an ooze. Oh, it's in the doorway of the rune, so it looks like it's electric, but it's just a regular ooze. Okay, that's a little more manageable. Yeah, Minotaurs are strong characters for starting out. Well, going through, killing all these monsters. Just killed the jackal. Maybe we'll die here. This is a rough start. Maybe we'll hit level 3. Yeah, it's gonna die, I think. Cool. Well, so there you see the API is going to go ahead and just automatically restart the game. Hopefully. Oh no, we got an error. I wonder why that happened. Exception. Don't have choices set for menu, character inventory menu. Right. Right. So this is in this function. Do we really want to raise an normally want to raise an exception? So sometimes the choices you have in a menu are dynamic. But also that's an inventory menu where you don't want to do anything. So let's just change this to a print statement for now. And that way we can still kind of see if it's happening, but it won't cause problems here. So so we got a new game. Awesome. Okay. So we're gonna let this run while we test it, and you know, hopefully we'll come across some stuff. And in the meantime, we're gonna just continue working on the fast downward, the PDDL API support for fast downward. Even though it's not gonna be complete, it is gonna allow us to be able to test a bunch of different goal types and start to get an agent that can really, hopefully, get pretty far in the dungeon. So let's see that. We're gonna watch this here. This character is still level 1 right here. This XL level 1. So that'll be moving around, and while we code on the API itself. So this is in game.py. Game.py is one of the big heavy lifting classes, and we're gonna go to the PDDL. And at some point, I need to figure out exactly what PDDL language specification. So you'll hear, there's a bunch of different versions of PDDL. I think there's PDDL 1. I think there's PDDL 2, 2.1, 2.2. There's PDDL 3. There's PDDL, I think, 3 plus, which refers to something. So, okay, did we get another error? No, that's in the Docker container. What's the goal? Oh, so we're just exploring now. So I wonder why the delay is so high. Huh. So the agent's moving. Let's just double check. The configuration delay is set to 0.4. I wonder why it's moving so slowly, though. It should be moving faster. It should be moving much faster. I wonder if I change the logic and it's just planning a lot. No, it'll say planning with goal. We're not getting that, so it's not planning. So here we had 4 actions. Oh, you can't really see this because this window is really small and on the right side. But, You know, I think the Docker container has been running a long time. That shouldn't be a problem, though. This is just taking too slow. And I don't know why. So, in fact, instead I'm going to try the human interface agent, which is where I can control it. Okay, so it's going to delete the game here, I think. Oh, no. We're playing. Okay. So... yeah, there's some significant delay. So it's starting a new game. So it's moving faster. Oh, we're going downstairs as soon as we can. That's right. Okay. Maybe this would be... oh, really walk into that teleport trap. You know, this is a different menu. So we're going to go ahead and add this in. What did that say? Really walk into this teleport trap. Really walk into that teleport trap. Okay. So we're going to go to menus and add this another text menu. So walk into teleport trap text menu 13. We're going to go to menu choice. We're going to say choices. So we have this one. And now we're going to add menu dot walk into teleport trap text menu, and here we're going to say menu choice dot upper Y. Is that right? Do we have upper Y? Yep, we have upper Y. And we have menu choice dot upper N for no. And the thing is, though, our agent, if our agent's in this one, we're not going to choose it randomly. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to choose the first one. It's a little bit of a hack here, but basically, just going to say, we're going to return this, whatever the first one is. Okay. So now, this should avoid that, which is pretty cool. So we're adding quite a bit of features to the API that's going to help our agents run and handle all the unique things. So I'm actually going to make a commit message with this. Well, I guess we should test it and then commit. So let's do that. Oh, but you know, we won't be able to test it again until we have run into another teleport trap. So there is that. But if we do run into it and there's a problem, we'll figure it out. Otherwise, we'll just have an agent that prioritizes strength and not walking into teleport traps. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and commit this. just so we can isolate this code. Added code to oh, but you know what? We're not actually storing that we're in that menu. So I need to hold off on the commit because I need to go to Autobahn connection and update that as well. So okay, we got to level 2. Ooh, poisoned. Ooh, maybe we'll die? Maybe not. What's happening here? Oh, it's not able to generate a plan for some reason. Okay, reached level 2. Was able to get around it. So check for attribute increase. Where's this function? Okay. I think it's really walking to teleport trap. What is the API wanting to do? Plan cannot be generated. I need to see why a plan was not able to be generated there. Yeah, we're gonna have to adjust this. Because sometimes, even though it's pretty bad, sometimes you do want to walk into a teleport trap if you're being chased by monsters and you're about to die. What is this ability menu options? Okay. Right, that's where we actually want to set that. So... Oh, this is the wrong. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna leave that. And I wanted to check the planner. So state.pddl. And whenever I want to check the planner, I like to use planning.domains. So I've showed it before. We can go to an editor. And I can make this state.pddl. And I can just paste this in our state file. And then I can go to our fast downward model. I can take this, I can add a file new, can make this file fast downward PDDL. Paste this in. And then I can try and solve it. And this often gives better errors sometimes than what fast downward gives us, especially if it's like a PDDL modeling error. So we can click solve, hit plan, and we get an error. Okay, planning failed, segmentation faults. So let's look and see what's happening here. We are writing out the player's health. So these are all the cells. We should get player health is medium low. Player plays dungeon 2. And we should have medium low as a constant. Medium low is a qualitative quantity. I think that's right. You know what? I wonder if it's a problem when the player goes to the next level. Player at. Somehow there's a seg fault. So, first of all, is there even this cell? There is this cell. And I want to see what the player is at. Player's at 0, y, -2. So I guess maybe I wonder if let's see if we get this this error again, but let's just keep running it for now. What's that? It says planning with goal, plan could not be generated. So what I want to do is try and see if we had a different goal before. Because we're planning with the same goal, but planning cannot be generated. So ideally, if we had a more robust agent, it would change the goal, right? But we don't. We just have a straightforward planning only system. Okay, so the new goal. So we had a goal that there's not a monster. It's cell x0, y3. But then, and then we chose the goal for the player to be at cell x, cell x -1, y3. And planning failed. I wish we could get an explanation. You know what I want to do? I almost want to keep track of failed goals. and then not use those. So let's, how do we know planning failed? So if planning could not be generated, I'm going to say self.failedgoals.append self dot whatever the goal is. So this is just goals. And what I want to do then is go back to where we're planning. And I want to say not to plan with this. Goal selection. So what I want to do is actually just remove, well, oh, okay, if this is a list, I might need to append it. So goal selection is returning goals that are just like this. That's it. It's not a list. And then when we call the planner, we're just adding this artificially here. Okay. Okay. So then in the planning part, we're going to, instead of append, we're just going to do plus equals goals. And then we're going to make it a list. Well, we're going to make it a set, I think. I don't know, maybe this isn't the best thing, but it's a quick little thing. Basically just remove keep duplicates out of there. And then up here in choices, we can say, so actually this is why I love Python. You can just, or PyCharm, you can just open a little console here to test things. So, because I don't know if you have a list and can you, if there's a subtraction operator. So I want to see if we say A equals the list 1, 2, 3, B equals the list 3, 4, 5. Can we do A minus B? No, it's not supported. So we can just do, I think a list comprehension is what they call it, where we can just say self.closed door cells equals cell for cell and self.closed door cells, if not in self.failed goals. That should work, right? No? Doesn't like it? Oh, if cell, not in self.fails. Okay. And then we can do the same thing for here, except this is farthest away cells. Okay. And here I'm gonna print out Actually, I'll do it in both cases. Okay. Okay, so we've added some code there. And now I'm curious. So now it should generate new goals. Okay. Starting a new game. Okay, we're in. Okay, went downstairs. And it's, I don't know what was its goals there. It's ignoring a bunch of failed goals. Wow. There's some problem with the planner. So there's some problem with the planner. I wonder if it's this health thing somehow. So I'm gonna go back to this planning.domains. I'm gonna go ahead and just comment out this player health medium low, and let's see if we get a solution. Planning fails. Segmentation fault. So why is this? Player at cell x1 y3. Cell x1 y3. Oh, it has a wall. Cell x1 y3 has a wall. That's why it's causing problems. Because, so I bet if we remove this, it would work. Jeez, is this really the case? Different error. Huh? The goal is negative x1, y3. Has terrain. Is there no reachable path? North of... Huh. Interesting. I commented out the terrain, and it's still not working. This makes me wonder, in this other branch, should we change something? Player health. You know, we're having a problem here with all these failed cells. And I'm going to take this state.pddl and look at this and see what's going on here. So I'm going to add a new file. So I'm going to call this state2. And I'm going to do this. So Player health high. I guess, is this... Oh, this cell doesn't even exist anywhere. Oh, wow. I wonder if this has to do with a level thing. I think it might. And I think the solution might be to have cells per level. Ooh, that means cell objects are gonna have to have a... They'd have to have like a place and a depth. Yeah, they need to have a place and a depth. So, if they're gonna have a place and a depth, so the way we can test it is we can just run this a few more times, and we can see if this only happened. Well, it's not a guaranteed test, but we can check to see if it only happens on the first level. So as soon as it goes downstairs, is it going to run into problems? You know, I really want to see... So it started to slow down a little. I almost want to use a code profiler. So... what's going on here? Keeps going back and forth a lot. Huh. So it's... So players at -7. And then the player's at -6. And it's trying to get to -10y0. And then the player's at -7. Can it not get to... So if the player's at -6 here, this at sign, this is -6 x. So it's generating a plan. -8, -9. 10. Oh, it looks like there's an open door there. Yeah, I'm so confused. Something weird is happening. Oh, is it not choosing open door actions? It's not choosing open door actions. Right? So this one where it was going north, 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 northwest. I think here. This should have been open door. Should have been open door. So interesting. I think in the planning model we're gonna want to change that. So and is it, what do we have? Is it has terrain? I think it should be terrain. Has terrain. What are the possible terrain values? Terrain. We don't have it here. I think closed door and open door. Do we have closed door and open door anywhere? We have closed door and open door cell. And we still have statue, which is redundant. We really should remove statue. I'm gonna remove statue now. Statue. Nowhere else is it mentioned. Or no, I didn't spell it right. So look for everywhere that has this. And we should delete it. And instead what we should do is not has terrain. Is it statue? I don't see it here. Yeah, I think it's missing. I'm gonna put statue. Technically a bush, a fungus, and a plant is not a terrain. Or it's not an obstacle. So I'm gonna do that. And oh, but actually from before I need to close these. So let me do that. And then go back up and add statue. And then I think where we write this out in fast down, we need to change it. Yeah, it's a little funny because it's funny because it's kind of a bunch of things happening at the same time. Let's get it. work on one thing at a time, but ideally we want to be planning with the API. And I almost wonder if we just need to just chill out a little bit and kind of fully implement this PDDL, because we really should be getting rid of the other one. We really should be doing this. So, and I don't know why the other one's failing, but yeah. Okay. Let's just do this, and then we're gonna get our planning system to use this and not the old PDDL. I think we really should just start transitioning away from that, and we're gonna do that. So I think we're gonna do player stats PDDL.append, and here we're gonna have God. So the God in the game. Yeah, let's go ahead and exit out of this. So here's all the monsters. So there's a certain number of, if you don't know about the game, there's a certain number of gods you can worship that give you special abilities. And this. So I think we're just gonna do that. Oh, but what I needed to find out. So that's that, but then I need to know what the predicate is. Predicate is player worshipping. Okay. Okay, cool. So might be able to just pump this out. I mean, this is really straightforward, just stuff. So, and then if we can fix the planning system and we have all this working, then we can test all these different goal types. We can get rocking and rolling. So. Okay, player worshipping. You know, just to be safe. I know I just wasted time here, but let's just do this. And then I'm gonna add the self.player god. And I think piety rank. It's a qualitative quantity, right? Where do we set this? I think this is just stars. Okay, we're gonna test this out. Okay, I think we just get a number 1 through 5 for piety because like 5 stars in the game menu. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run the human interface agent, and we're gonna do this. So I think Is that gonna work? Piety rank is just 1. Piety rank is 1. So it's just 1 out of 5. So what we're gonna do then is go back to the API and we're just gonna say piety rank bin. How many quantitative choices are there? I think I have 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I guess 1 is low. 1 is low. 2 is medium low. 3 is medium. 4 is medium high. 5 is high. We won't use maxed. Okay, cool. So then I think I just need to take... Actually, I think I can just use the piety rank itself as the index. Because if it's a list, it starts at 0, right? This would be low would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I like that a lot. So, and I don't... Maybe the piety maxes? I actually don't know. So, but that's a nice little trick. And I think this is just piety rank. Player piety. Nope. And player piety rank. So piety. Whoa. Wow. I can't use the keyboard apparently. And then this is really gonna be quantitative choices, but the index is gonna be the piety rank. Okay, cool. It doesn't like that. Did I not close this one? I didn't close this one. That makes sense. I knew it messed up somewhere. No? There we go. Okay. Cool. So we got the player god, player piety rank. Spell slots left. How do we do this? Should be another thing we test. So I'm just gonna log in and see what happens when we look at spell slots. So if I type in M, okay, M. Spells 0 out of 0 levels left. So let's just do a little logic here. Basically, if self.player player spell slots left. I'm gonna ignore it for now. Also, spells are like complicated things we're not gonna be able to do. Well, we'll add that in. Okay. So player gold is a raw number. I'm not gonna worry about that. That's gonna prevent buying stuff in stores. Resist fire is gonna be, it's right here, so it's out of 3. And it should, so in that last one, it should also have R fire. So HP max, blah 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 blah. Goes into inventory. Oh, we just get that for free in the beginning. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to run this again. Oh, actually. Okay, so now I'm gonna hit percent. And oh, it's not printing? Oh, it's not printing anywhere. So, where is this being processed? So, I think actually all these should just start at 0. Stealth and willpower. That way, and spell slots left. This is just a raw number of just how many are left. Okay. You know, I'm gonna change this to be 0. And then we actually will be able to do spell slots. I'll just make it, there's 2 options, like none or low. Okay, so oh, do not even have a predicate for it? If we don't even have a predicate for it, I'm just gonna say player has spell slot, has available spell slot. It's gonna be true or false. And we're just gonna say true if it's more than 0. So that'll handle that for now. And then we can do things like memorize spell. Actually, we can add that as a precondition. And then for our fire and all these ones, we're just going to say, because we made them index at 0, we can just say, and what is resist fire? Do we have things like this in the PDDL? I don't think we do. Player stats. I think we need to add it here. So player resist fire is going to be an amount like this. And we're going to do this for a bunch of things. So what do we have here? Well, we have all of these, right? And so we have all of these. So we did fire, now we have cold. We have negativity. We have poison. We have electric, and we have corrosion. And for all of these, we're just gonna put these here. Let me actually go ahead and just take this one too. Take this, player stats. Actually, what am I doing? Hold on. And we're going to take player resist. And we're going to do this. And then we're going to do dot format. And then here is going to go gonna take this and we're gonna do qualitative choices, self dot player r, and we're gonna make this fire. Whoa. Cold, negative, poison, electric, corrosion, and we're gonna make sure we close it off. Is that, oh, that messed that one up. Okay, so we got that. Got a bunch of player stats, and we should do the same thing for willpower and stealth. Stealth has more options though, right? Stealth has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So stealth is a little harder. I think for willpower we can do the same thing. Willpower and stealth. And then for stealth, we're gonna have to calculate it like we did the health index. So just do that. Except we'll do a stealth index. Stealth is 0. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it could be 0. So I'll say if player dot player stealth. If it's greater than 0, we're gonna do this thing. Otherwise, we're gonna say player stats dot append player stealth make it none. Otherwise, it will be self.player stealth out of 11. This is actually way easier, way cleaner. Okay, that's for stealth index. And now, so we handled willpower and stealth. HP regen, MP regen, we're just gonna ignore. Those are just absolute numbers, I think. See invisible is Boolean. So for this, we just need if self.player see invisible, then, and here we're just gonna have to add a bunch of stuff. So see invisible, faith, spirit, reflect, harm. Don't have rampage, but that's fine. Oh, except, no. They're just that, booleans, if they're true. Really, we should add rampage. And what we really should do is yep. We should do this. Cool. That's pretty neat. It feels crazy to write multiple lines of code at a time. It's just wild. Man, I love text editors that have the multi-select. It's just, it's so convenient when you need it, if you get good at it. Usually, though, if you have to use it, sometimes it means you're doing tedious work, which this is definitely tedious work, but still, it's nice to have it. So game turn, game time, we're just going to ignore movement speed value. We should really process that. But I think for now, this is pretty good progress. And let's just make sure it at least runs. So let's just run the planning agent, see if it can run around and do some stuff so we didn't break anything absolutely. Critical. Okay, it's still running around doing stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave it run for a little bit. Thank you all for tuning in. So, as a recap, we are working on the PDDL API. We're going to support fast downward. That means we're not going to have all the data that the vector representations are going to have right now, but we'll get to that in the future. We're still going to be able to do a lot of different goals, a lot of the basic functionality, probably even cast some of the spells. Maybe all spells we'll be able to at least cast. So that'll be super cool, super interesting. And yeah, and what did we work on in the beginning? Oh yeah, we did some stuff with menus. We added a new menu choice for preventing walking into teleport traps. Then we ran into some problems with the planner not working. We tried to solve it in PDDL.domains, this website on this editor, but we were getting these seg fault errors, which are just not providing anything really helpful. So, and usually what you have to do in this case is you just kind of remove stuff until you're sure that it works. So with that, but you know, we're kind of, so these old state files, this is being written, where, you know, the PDDL API will replace this. So, and that's on the list of things to do anyway. So if we're going to replace it, does it make a sense to spend a lot of time debugging it? I don't think so. So in that case, I think what we're going to do is we're going to just chug forward, implementing these functions, get player stats PDDL. Made some good progress there tonight. We're going to take that farther. We got these status effects, but, you know, I think this should be relatively simple. We're just going to, you know, basically if these are true, then we're going to add a fact. If not, we won't. And then we're going to start doing the player. So then once we have that, the player stats, and then once we have, I think the next one we'll do map data. Maybe just get all map data because I already have that anyway. Once we get those two, maybe we'll also need to do background. With those two or maybe with background, we'll be able to have a planning agent, and then we can continue to implement the other ones. But then we can move from there, and I think it'll be a little easier because right now there's some older code that's just kind of arbitrarily writing some stuff to PDDL, but this is a more kind of centralized, well thought out approach, or at least it's more organized, I would say. So thanks for tuning in. Planning to just, keep on doing this every Tuesday, sometime between around 6 p.m. Eastern time, is the earliest we'd start. And then, probably around 11 p.m. is probably the latest. So we'll see about that. But, in the meantime, post comments here on the YouTube videos. I ideally post comments in the Gitter. That's really the best place. And yeah, also, if you want to contribute, we're looking for people to contribute. Please don't be shy about commenting on issues or putting forward an idea or anything like that. Or if you see any mistakes or you have feedback, please would appreciate all the feedback. So all right, signing off for tonight, and I will see you all next week. Cheers.